Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and today we're finally headed to West Rohan. However, before we leave Forlaw, there are a couple things we can do. First of all, let us complete some tasks to complete the weekly quest and get an optional crafting ingredient. That's what we're gonna do first. What do we have here? Wings, no. Ears, no. Mossy branches, we have one. Hornet sorchets. Yeah, we have enough of those too. Ripped cloaks, of course we have. Tattered skins, I don't think we have enough of those. Unkempt furs, we do. And weathered beaks, no, that's a no-go. So yeah, that was it for the quest, but we're also gonna hit the daily limit for today. So what else can we do? Slimy filth. But no, there is no... Ah yeah, there is a slimy filth in here. How did I miss it? And ripped cloaks. No. Gotta keep doing. This one's over here. And now, yes, they gotta keep on farming the ripped cloaks. A few more times. So, worsted level has changed to 54. We have one more trade point. And we have our task limit reached for the day. Very convenient. So, let us really quick reforge all this. And we're almost there ready to pick up the epic. You need to pick up the epic at Nona's cave, where it ended the last time. But on our way there, I think I also want to complete the Blooming in the Snow deed. We are really close to completing it, and we're not too far away from those locations either, so we're gonna do that too. Alright, so what we need to do first is take a swift travel to Shilfik. And from there, we'll make our way south
Do not surrender.
to Forlaw, because the two flowers we're missing are along that way. So, the first one in here is to the south, basically. Straight line to the south. And a little bit to the east, but not too much. And we're gonna check exactly what the location of this one is, because on hindsight I'm not sure. How did I miss it? Balharan we have already done, and we're ready to move outside of Wildermore, so I don't think I'm gonna be doing any of those warbands yet. Take a look! It's right over here. Right next to the road. Once again, not sure how did I miss that one. But here we have it, the wild thistle. And the other one is once again practically a straight line to the south. A little bit to the east, but not too much. It's close to the farms. And afterwards we'll go to Nona's cave. Oh, Christ. Yeah, take a look. Over here. How did I miss that? I'm not sure because it was really close to Thrim's farm. Really close to it. Kinda weird, but anyway. Let us pick this one. So we have completed, first of all, a Blooming in the Snow. And we got a new title, Blossom in the Snow. We leveled up Honor to level 34. And we have also completed the Explorer of Wildermore. We got 5 LOTRO points. You have discovered some hardy, fierce little flowers and plants blooming in Wildermore, despite the crushing will of the freeze laid upon that land. Here we have 5 LOTRO points. Here we have Explorer of Wildermore and Blooming in the Snow over here. That's basically it. That's what we got. In here we have the rejuvenation potions to show for it. We're gonna destroy all of this. And with this, we are now ready to begin the epic. You might remember when you hit level 85, which was a long time ago, you get a mail from Horn. Danger faces west, Rohan. We saw much to trouble us in Wildermore, my friend. Travel to the Entwash crossing and see if Humbald will yet allow us to pass. West Rohan is in danger and Théoden King must be told, but he is the very one who forbade us from returning. And you get this, a very convenient port to the Entwash as well. We're not gonna use that one though, because if you use that one, you will be taken to the Entwash and Humbald will basically tell you no, you cannot pass, go back to Horn at Nona's cave in Wildermore. So for this one, I think we're gonna swift travel to Beriathan and then go to Nona's cave. But yeah, basically you need to pick this up at Nona's cave, so I'm not entirely sure why you are being told to go back to the Entwash first. That doesn't make any sense. But you still get a very nice convenient map. We're just saving that one for later.
Do you bring provisions?
Now, something that is very curious about the epic in West Rohan, I'm not sure if it happens for other areas in the game, but you can pick the vector from many different places. You can go to the Entwash and talk to Humbald, if that's what you want, but you can also talk to Elrond in Rivendell or talk to Galadriel in Lothlorien, and either one of them will also get you the quest to go to Nona's cave, but the dialogue will be different depending on which NPC is giving you the quest. In the end, what matters most is that you need to come back to Nona's cave, and I already missed the way, it seems. No. Oh my god. Where is Nona's cave now? Why do you hate me like that? I mean, this is already the Valewood. So, well, maybe picking that quest is helpful for you to get a visual indication on the map of where Nona's cave is, but it's still kind of weird. The design on this one is kind of weird. Bottom line, we just need to find that cave. Can't be that far. Yeah. Here we are. Wasn't that difficult. And Nona will begin this epic for us.
Our friends from Beriathan have weathered the storm.
The worst is behind them, and with my help, they will be well enough to travel. I have spoken with Horn about this, and he agrees that it is best if I bring them to a town in Wildermore where they can start anew. What is the name of the settlement on the eastern shore of the lake? Forlaw. That city will find a place for them, if any will. Sad news this, but it be true. Nursum's path of destruction has caused many houses throughout Wildermore to stand empty. My recovering friends will find a fresh start in Forlaw. Horn and I spoke of other matters as well, Beriathan. Speak to him and see if you share his mind.
I have decided what I must do.
Thank you for coming to listen, my friend. I have put some thought into what we encountered in Wildermore, and I must confess it troubles me. The folk here are on the road to recovery, as are the survivors Nona rescued from Beriathan, but the forces of Saruman attacked this land with much greater strength than I expected they could muster. How much might could Saruman raise to strike at the heart of Rohan if he spared a creature such as Nursum to deal with Wildermore? Imagine what evils he might unleash upon Edoras. I have decided what I must do, Beriathan. My king commanded me not to cross the Entwash, and I am honor-bound to obey him. And yet I cannot remain silent. I must convince Théoden King to march against Saruman before the wizard's plan bear fruit. If it costs me my honor as a man of Rohan, so be it. I will defy the word of my king if doing so will save even one innocent. I will accept whatever justice the king deems appropriate, but he must be told of what we witnessed in Wildermore. He must be warned, even if it means my life. I have told Nona my decision, and she sees the need of it. She will go to Forlaw with the survivors of Beriathan, and we will meet again once this is through. Speak now to Corudan and Gléowine, and see what they think of my plan.
Horn plans to defy the word of his king.
That cannot have been an easy decision for him to make, but I understand what has driven our friend to make it. Horn may be imprisoned, or worse, but if his tidings can break the king's reverie, it might be the only action that can save the people of Rohan from their enemies. The survivors of Beriathan are now well enough to travel. Nona and I will bring them to the city of Forlaw, while Horn brings his message to the king, and we will rejoin him when we can. I think it would be unwise to enter the court of Théoden in the company of a Dunlending girl, even one proven so true as Nona, and it is not she alone who would raise the hackles of the Rohirrim. An elf of Lorien would be as unwelcome. Am I mistaken? Maybe not.
The king must hear what happened in Wildermore.
Gléowine listens to your account of Horn's decision to defy the word of the king, and smiles. Horn can count me with him, Beriathan. I will return to Edoras in defiance of Théoden King, whom I serve without questioning all things save this, for I believe it is right. I am not afraid of death. If the king orders it, I will be the first to praise his justice, and will surrender to his headsman without complaint. The king must hear of what has happened in Wildermore. I am certain he will listen when he hears what Horn has to say.
One path remains a mystery to me.
I know now what the rest of us will do, but one path remains a mystery to me. On what path would you walk, Beriathan? Would you come with me to Edoras? I do not ask you to defy Théoden King, my friend. I will understand if our paths must now separate. I will not blame you. That is most like the way of wisdom. It is with my heart I make this choice for myself, but I would not presume to make it for you by head or by heart. His voice is casual, but you can tell from his eyes that worry lurks just beneath the surface. With a comforting smile, you tell him that you will accompany him to Edoras for the good of Rohan's people, though it be against the command of their king. Horn's relief is tangible and sudden. Beriathan, you are as great a fool as I am. I am overjoyed to say it. 3 men and an elf all returning to Edoras against the command of the king, and in the company of a Dunlending girl would be too great an insult. We defy the king, but still seek to be polite. Is this madness, Beriathan? The two of us, and Gléowine, should now travel to Humbald at the Entwash crossing, and tell him we will not be turned away. This is the time, of course, to use the very convenient map that we got, and save us some time, because otherwise the fastest way of getting to this would be mastering in Snowborn, and then traveling to the Entwash. But this is indeed faster. So what do we have in here?
The threat of Saruman is greater even than we supposed.
We must cross the Entwash. Someone must tell the king what befell in Wildermore. The threat of Saruman is greater even than we supposed.
Here we are, my friends. Now, what do we do?
Well, press on Gléowine, of course. Too late now to go back. Will you let us pass? I will not. It is the rule of Théoden King, and if you possess honor, you will respect his command. You are to remain east of the Entwash until the king revokes his command. And what if we pass anyway? You and your companions seem to possess strength of will, it is true, and perhaps you could overpower me if the mood took you, but you would make an enemy of Théoden King and of his people, and you would not long survive in Rohan. You should keep that in mind, and let it master any hasty impulse.
Nothing has changed. I have not received word from Edoras that you may pass.
Humbald's scowl deepens when you declare your intention to pass anyway. Still you defy my charge and that of my king. This cannot be. I cannot allow you to cross the Entwash. It is a command of Théoden King, and I will not betray my duty. The two of you have seen battle, I am certain of it. But this white-haired fellow has seen none that I can tell. Would you have me raise my sword against an old man?
Wait. There is something familiar about that man. Is it Gléowine?
Gléowine? Is that you? The minstrel of Théoden? On what account do you accompany these folk? Gléowine sheepishly steps forward, and you realize that Humbald was never told of the minstrel's exile. It is you! Humbald continues. Is it true what this man says? Gléowine responds quickly, and Humbald muses in silence. After a time, he continues. Gléowine, if you will speak for these others, I will allow the three of you to pass. I am merely a simple man from the Eastfold, but you are held in confidence of the king, and must know his mind more thoroughly than ever could I hope to do. For the good of my king and the Riddermark, I will allow you to pass. Do not make me regret this choice. I would cast my blade aside before I race against such as you. Okay, so... fortunate turn of events, it seems. And with this, we can pass to West Rohan. At long last. Here we have the Western Net. You did Kingstead Exploration. What do we have in here? 10 more locations to discover. And a new stable master as well. Great.
I do not know if we will survive this.
And wait, a travel location. Now, here we have a new warband Nudit, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there is a huge difficulty spike in the West Rohan, so I'm not entirely sure we can take that warband, but we can try, right? So, give me just a moment and I will go there. Yeah, we can try. And he is not that far away. Worst case scenario, we just retreat. And that'll be it. So I think I'm gonna switch to Rohirrim just in case. Because these warbands in the West Rohan are no laughing matter. By any means. While riding on the plains of Kingstead, you have encountered a mighty Uruk-hai rider leading his orc forces toward the river settlement of Endwait. You should defeat him to protect this pivotal location in Kingstead as well as the people of Rohan. Well, I don't want to fight you. So if you would leave me alone, that would be great. We have Uruk Slayer of the Western Net. And I will check that, but first I want to give it a try to Nudit and his orcs that you can see here. So all of them, it seems, are what? Elite? A signature level. You have 6 of them plus Nudit. And Nudit, I believe, will have... Oh my god. Nudit will have a protection? No, aura of command. That went just as well as I expected, to be honest with you. We have Uruks in the Western Net, 1 out of 100. Let us retreat. Really, there's no reason for us to give that another try. That one is a really hard one to do. We have here a crate of Kingstead crops. Not entirely sure if this is a quest line that we are supposed to start right now, or if we are supposed to get this one later, because the road from the Entwash to Edoras doesn't pass through here. So there is something really particular about West Rohan, and that is you need to complete book 11, I think it is, before you can unlock any landscape quest in it. So we'll be back at the Entwash at some point, but not yet. Our first step is Edoras, and there is a very good reason for that. The epic... I mean, we are technically outlaws in West Rohan as of right now, so we do need to complete the epic and let events transpire a little bit before we can start helping the people of West Rohan. So yeah, it seems those crates that we saw along the road, we cannot take them yet, or I would rather wait. West Rohan is even more linear than East Rohan or Wildermore, so I don't want to risk breaking anything by doing things out of order. I don't think you gain that much by doing that. Here we have the stable master for the Kingstead homesteads. And now, just leave me alone, please. I don't want to fight you right now. Truth be told, I'm not even... Oh, no, this is not a way. Going to go west now. And there you can see Edoras in the distance, and the golden hall of Meduseld. I'm not sure if there is like an exploration with the barrows here in Edoras. I'm not sure, so we're gonna check that in just a moment as well. Let us dismount in here just a moment. Because I'm not sure what this thing is. Most likely this is the location for a quest that we'll get at some point in the future. But I'm not sure what it is, really. And it seems there was nothing there for us. But we're about to arrive to the Barrows. And that reminds me, we can actually take off the Stone of the Tortoise now. We are on level and ready to continue once again. Awesome. Before the gates of Edoras, burial mounds of kings stand beside the road. The previous kings of Rohan. So one of these lines is for the line of Errol. The second one of these lines is for the line of Helm. But yeah, okay. And here you can see the names are written on these tombstones. We could technically check this and make sure which line is which. And most likely Theodred will have its own mounting here as well. So I think we'll be checking this later. So for the time being, let us just talk to Horn.
We have returned to Edoras, and death is upon my mind.
We have returned to Edoras, Beriathan, and death is upon my mind. Will Théoden King heed the warning we bring? Or will he answer our words of caution with admonishment and a more final decree than exile? Horn looks to the mounds on the left and right side of the road. How long has it been since Meduseld was raised? And how many kings of Rohan sleep here in death? 10 and 6 mounds for 10 and 6 kings. Will the Evermind blossoms cover another mound before this war is through? Or will no good men remain to build it? Let us continue into the city. Our errand is urgent, and we have little time for my dark musings. We have the entrance to Edoras. Sight to be seen. We have discovered Edoras, and here we have Gléowine. Gléowine stops ahead and stares at a magnificent white horse.
Unless I am very much mistaken, that horse is Shadowfax, Lord of the Maris.
Look at this. Unless I am very much mistaken, that horse is Shadowfax, Lord of the Maris. The king gifted him to Gandalf the wizard some months ago, rather against his wishes, truth be known. It seems the horse has found his way back home, riderless. The king will be pleased if he does not already know mighty Shadowfax has returned. That will brighten his countenance for certain. He may be more willing to forgive our defiance of his commands as well. Let us continue onward to the Golden Hall, Beriathan. I am ready. First of all, let us pick the milestone here. And as you can see, yeah, we have Shadowfax. The kids are very excited to see him, it seems. Yeah, it's a marvelous horse, to be certain. And here we have a Table Master.
Desperate times for the Rohirrim.
And now we can make our way to Edoras. No, to Meduseld, rather. We are already in Edoras. We just need to get to Meduseld. So if memory serves me right, the fastest way to Meduseld is through this stair. And now through this town square. Edoras is huge, really. One of the biggest towns. As it should. But right now, I think I have lost my way. No, this is the right way. So, how fitting. The last time we were on Meduseld, night was falling. And now that we're back, night is ending. This was not intentional by any means, but there is some sort of a poetic justice to it. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is the Eastwold and Kingstead housing brokers. But we're not gonna talk to them right now. What I want is a picture of this fountain. There is a lot of eye candy here in Meduseld, and you might remember the last time we were here, we weren't able to fully inspect some of these banners. We missed a couple, at best. So we'll get the chance of completing our inspection of the tapestries in Meduseld in just a moment. Outside the Golden Hall of Meduseld, the Doorward of Théoden bars your way. Yeah, that seems familiar.
What brings you hither against the word of Théoden?
This is not the first time you have come before the Golden Hall of Meduseld. It is in my mind that you were sent from here in disgrace by command of the king. What brings you hither against the word of Théoden? How many unwanted visitors will bring ill news here today? Háma notices your puzzled expression and continues. You are not the only unwelcome guest to come to Meduseld this day. Some are within the Golden Hall this very hour.
You are not the first to come here today.
You are not the first to come here today, testing the word of my heart against the command of my king. Do I compound an earlier error by allowing you into the hall? Or do I make all right with a single throw? Háma sighs heavily. Never have I so rude disposed. The will of Théoden is clear, but I do not believe you come here with evil intent. You speak of dangers to the north, and all around, but returning here brings the greatest danger upon yourselves. Is that not the truest sign of your good hearts? The king must be told what you have seen. Speak to me when you are ready to continue into the hall, and I shall take your weapons as is the custom. Then you shall proceed before the king, and we will see if I have misjudged you. I hope for your sake, and for mine, that I have not. Oh yeah.
If you are willing, I will take your weapons and bring you before the king.
Know this. Once you step beneath the roof of Meduseld, all chances to repent of your defiance are gone.
We have returned to Meduseld against the king's orders, but we do not seem to be the only ones coming to the Golden Hall to speak words of warning.
No, we're not. We're not alone in the Hall of Théoden, Beriathan. Let us approach and see who has the ear of the king, but we will interfere only if it be in the interest of Rohan to do so. A hush hangs over the hall.
Théoden, son of Thengel. I have returned, and I bring warning and wise counsel. A storm is brewing. All good people must stand together or be destroyed.
I greet you, Gandalf, but why should I welcome you? You bring troubles wherever you go. You say a storm brews. I say you are its herald, the bringer of woe and ill tidings.
You speak wisdom, my lord. All around us the news is grim. It is not 1 week since your son and heir Theodred was slain on the western marches. You cannot trust in Háma. He would empty your city and leave your treasures unguarded. And now Gondor tells us that the Dark Lord stirs once more in the east. It is curious, is it not, that these are the days in which this ragged wanderer returns to us.
A worker of evil may come in fell times, Grima, son of Galmod. But there are also those who come when they are most needed, when days are darkest.
I did not mourn when Shadowfax came back riderless, Gandalf. The return of the horse was made all the greater by lack of the rider.
So it was, my lord. See his rags? Have you ever seen such a beggarly figure?
The courtesy of your hall is not as it was, Théoden, son of Thengel. Has your door ward, Háma, not reported the names of my companions?
I see only churls and vagabonds, and you the worst of them all. Be gone with you, and leave my lord to those who do not wish him ill.
You know not of what you speak, Grima Wormtongue.
That was so funny when Grima was dissing Gandalf and his guests. Like, you saw Aragorn's expression. But this is so great. Let us see. Beriathan, I am glad you made it here from Wildermore so quickly, but I will need to hear your report of that land at another time. All of us have work to do, for the king is not yet free of danger. Keep an eye on Grima, if you would. He is slippery, and I fear he may intend further harm to the king. Whether he can work greater harm that he has already performed is a question for which I have no answer. Stay on your guard.
Théoden, I offer you my counsel, if you would have it. I have ever been a friend to the House of Eor, and would not see it come to its ending.
Nor would I, Gandalf. But it is so dark. So dark.
No, my friend. Not all is dark. Behold! Beyond your darkened windows, there is light. The skies shine above, as they always have. Will you heed me?
Now I see the shadows for what they are, Gandalf. They are fleeting, like a grim memory. How came this to be?
So that is done. I think that went rather well, considering what is at stake. We have so little time to waste, and much depends on haste. We cannot spend these precious moments squabbling among ourselves, when the real foes lie without. Save one, Grima, son of Galmod, called the Wormtongue. He is an enemy of Théoden and of Rohan, and he remains within. His fate will rest with the king, as it should. Rohan and Théoden are not free of danger yet. Still, we have work to do. There you have it. So we witnessed a very important moment in the story, and it was really great. As you can see as well, it had a lot of voice acting, and that's something that Helm's Deep did that other expansions did not, as far as I remember, and it's that it included a whole lot more voice acting for epic and important instances, and that really adds a lot to the storytelling. Something else that I want to point out before we continue, as Grima said, not even a week has passed since Theodred's death at the Forts of Isen, but you remember that was almost 70 episodes ago? 70 episodes ago, to be precise. A lot of things have passed, so the LOTRO team obviously takes some liberties with the time constraints in order to be able to tell the stories they want to tell. No major issue with that, just kind of funny when you stop to think about it, but the key is not thinking about it too much. For example, the entire storyline of West Rohan, according to the books, takes 1 day to happen. But the LOTRO team once again takes some liberties with time to be able to tell better stories. That was mentioned in the West Rohan developer diary. I was rereading that, a day or so ago. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because the time constraints in the game they are a matter for much debate among the player base, and it's kind of fun. But once again, you don't think about it too much. It's my advice. Here we have it, at long last, a Gandalf the White reveals itself to Théoden, to Grima, and now a light shines once again for Rohan now that Théoden is awake.
It seems your road entwines with ours for a pace or two more.
I would not celebrate so quickly were I you. War has already come to Rohan, and its drumbeat deepens with every passing hour. We are beset on all sides by evils both known and unknowable, and to be near Gandalf is to be near danger. Gandalf laughs, but his eyes are stern. Grima would say I brought the danger hither, I do not doubt, but I say Gandalf goes where he is needed, and for this day and every day that is to where the danger is deepest. We have here agility, vitality, morale, fitness rating. Since there is a huge difficulty spike between Wildermore and West Rohan, the best thing you can do is upgrade all your gear as soon as you can. I'm just not sure where to put this earring. Gonna think about that.
Much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
My own would take too long to tell, and from any other would beg, I believe. You would trust my tale, I am certain, but then only because you have experienced some things nearly as peculiar. Know this, Beriathan. I bear tidings both glad and sorrowful. The task set before our mutual friends at the last homely house is still ongoing. Though some of that company are here with us in this golden hall, some others carry still the burden to its destination. The errand is not yet done, but neither is it abandoned. Those be the glad tidings. I will let Aragorn tell you what this joyful news has cost us, for it was not bought without strife. And yes, we have found some of that, some signs of that on our road. So maybe Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli will end telling us what happened exactly on Parth Galen and the East Wall.
We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it.
For it seems there is a shortage of friendly faces in this land. One man of honor I met, and he was imprisoned for his kindness to me. You press Aragorn on the matter of Gandalf's cryptic words, and the ranger's face falls. Gandalf gives you the joyful tidings, and leaves the ill news to me. It has been 1 week since our fellowship was sundered on Parth Galen along the banks of the Anduin. Boromir of Gondor fell there. He gave his life protecting the halflings Meriadoc and Peregrine, but they were borne away by great orcs of Saruman. Others went another way. I had to make a choice, and I chose it. We could not abandon Merry and Pippin. I do not know if I chose alright. The orcs were destroyed before our pursuit ended, and Gandalf tells me the hobbits found safety. Could I have done otherwise? I cannot say. But now we must do what we can for Rohan and put behind us what regrets we may. So also 1 week in between the breaking of the fellowship and this moment, so the breaking of the fellowship and Theodred's death happened at the same time. Once again, these time constraints are kind of funny, and they get even more narrow as we progress in the game.
It is good to see you again, though we are met on the very precipice of danger.
How have you fared since last we spoke? You tell Legolas of your adventures, and his light laughter breezily flies around the hall. What is it that our young friends used to say? You have gone from the frying pan into the flames, and the frying pan was hot enough. You have had adventures to spare, Beriathan. It seems we all have done. I am glad your own journey brought you to Fangorn as did mine. I could spend years exploring beneath its canopy, never feeling the passage of time, were it not for the pull of that which moves my feet. Once our friends are safe, perhaps I will follow that pull to where it leads. Legolas notices your quizzical expression, and his usual laughter melts away. "The sea, Beriathan," he responds. I speak of the sea.
I have cloven a number of orc skulls since we last met, but it is not enough.
Remember the words of the lady, Legolas. It has been several weeks since last we met, Beriathan. What have you done with the time? I have cloven a number of orc skulls since then, but not enough to satisfy my hatred of the beasts. Some of their ilk led us on a merry chase across much of Rohan, and my chest fills with pride to tell you I outpaced even Legolas on that race. I may have been wounded, true, but Gimli, Glowing's son, did not abandon the pursuit without need. When we caught up with the Uruk band at last, they had already been slain by men of Rohan. It has been 2 days since our pursuit ended, and I have nearly caught my breath again. I have never run so far or so fast in all my days, and I would be content to stay in one place for the rest of them, if that place were a mountain with good stone and deep roots.
I feel as if a heavy shroud has been lifted from my sight.
My days were filled with dark dreams, and my nights were no different. What foul craft of Grimace is to blame? No, not his doing alone. It was my weakness that allowed him to dominate my mind. No longer. I am myself again, and free of his whisperings. It is well that Gandalf arrived here when he did, and that Háma allowed him to pass the threshold. That transgression I will forgive. Grima may have intended further mischief. Indeed, I am certain of it. Leave Meduseld and speak to Háma. Tell him I want Grima's chambers searched and my sister's son Éomer released from imprisonment. These actions were poorly done, and must be righted.
Only Grima cares for Théoden King.
These others want him hurt, and powerless, and weak. And I think you're deserving of this. Shut up, Grima. I think we've endured too much of your beepering tongue so far, so yeah, shut up. Here we have the last tapestry. No, not the last, but we were checking this tapestry of the Borough of Everhold when Grima kicked out us of Meduseld. We'll get to learn more about this story as we progress through West Rohan, and here we have a... Whose is it? Irian, maybe? I'm not sure exactly which steward of Gondor gave the keys of Orthanc to Saruman, and that's what this tapestry is depicting. And I think that was all of it, because these other ones we have already checked, Helm and Errol, and the other Rohirrim kings. So yeah, let us go back to Háma and let him know about Théoden's command. Yes, you return from within on your own power, which tells me your wager was correct, and you will draw breath until tomorrow at least.
These are better tidings than I believed possible.
Háma listens as you recount what befell within the Golden Hall, and his questioning face is soon aglow with smiles. These are better tidings than I believed possible. You are a friend both new and true to bring me such words. Théoden, my king, you have been brought from the darkness by the wisdom of Gandalf. He is the Storm Crow no longer. White Wizard, friend to Rohan and its people. I rejoice to hear it. Théoden King, restored at last.
I will guide you to Grima's chambers, as the king instructs.
We must remain alert, Beriathan, for Grima may have left the seeds of some mischief in his chambers. He may still manage to work some evil, and that would be a cruel cut indeed, to know of his treachery and still succumb to it. Grima's chambers are northeast of the steps that lead to Meduseld. Come, I will show you the way. Okay, so as I was telling you, night ends, the day has come to Meduseld, the day has come to Rohan and to Théoden King. Very fitting for us to be in here as well. But there is still much to be done, and the first step is checking Grima's chambers. That however will need to wait for the next episode. For the time being, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.